Hi, my name is Saran Tutu, and I am an aspiring classical singer.
So, how old are you?
I am 16.
And what is it that you said you wanted to be?
I want to be a classical singer.
Now, how did that come about? You're young, you're 16, you're in high school?
Mm-hmm.
And what school do you go to?
I'm currently attending the Baltimore School for the Arts.
Okay, and people might know that as a school that maybe, who went there? Jada Pinkett, Tupac, and everything. So you're in with the big dogs. Okay, so yeah, how did that come about? Like, what did you just wake up one day and was like, I don't want to do R&B. Like, I want to do classical. I mean, did you ever sing R&B? Like, what happened?
Yeah, originally R&B was like my priority. It was my first choice as far as the genre I wanted to sing. But when I auditioned for the Baltimore School for the Arts, I originally got in for my instrument, which is the euphonium. And I couldn't sing there. So I said, okay, I'm okay with this. I mean, it's not what I really want to do. I said, I'm okay. And then as the school year went on and I saw everybody else singing, I said, this is not okay. This is not what I want to do. Like, I'm not going to be playing the euphonium for the rest of my life, so why would I be doing it here? So I said, I'm going to try to switch my arts. So I had to re-audition with all the other kids coming in. And I guess I blew them away the second time because I got in. And then when I found out we only trained with classical music, I thought, well, maybe this isn't the school for me because I can't sing classical music. I don't like it. It's boring. Like, I can't do it. But as I learned how to do it, I said, okay, this is good. This is good. And then as I started to appreciate how hard it is to actually sing and knowing that I could do it, I kind of fell in love with this. So now that's my main priority.
That's really neat. Did you, I think we were talking the other day, did you have like some type of classical ties with your family or something like that?
Yes. Classical music originated with my grandmother. Well, singing started with my great-grandmother, but it passed to my grandmother, and she wanted to sing classical music, and she was in little things, like she was an extra in the opera Carmen and in La Boheme and stuff like that, and she wanted, to go mainstream, but when she went to New York, for family reasons, she didn't have the opportunity to pursue her dreams. And that passed to my mom, who didn't get a chance to pursue her dreams either. So I'm the one that's living.
You're like the dynasty. You're like Hunger Games.
Yeah.
You gotta save your family and do this. This is Katniss in the making. So we went to a recital recently with you at your school, and it was amazing. I was wondering, and I was sitting there like, oh, this is so beautiful. You were making all these faces. I'm like, this is sort of like theater. So, like, do you know what you're singing? Is it gibberish? Is it just notes that you're singing? Is it a language? Like,
Yeah. I sing, the first song I sang in the recital that you came to was Italian. And the second song I sang was in French. And we always know what we're singing about. We have to study our music before we perform it. So I know every word that I sang, and I know what the entire thing is about. I know what it's based off of. I know the whole background of it, so that when I sing it, I can portray exactly what it's supposed to be portrayed.
Okay, so like, are those the only two languages you've sung your songs in thus far? Like Italian, you say Italian and French?
Yeah, but those aren't the only. I've sung French, Italian, German, and Russian.
Oh, that's so neat. Well, okay, so is there, like, where do you see this going in the future? Like, is there like a particular college you're looking for, or like what are your aspiring dreams? Where do you want to be?
Well, I'm planning on spending my undergrad years in college at the University of Cincinnati Conservatory for Music, or maybe even Boston Conservatory. But for my graduate years, I kind of want to move up and try to audition for like Juilliard. That's the dream school, of course, but I want to work my way up there. So, and then after Juilliard, I'll probably come back and do little things in operas at the Lyric Opera House, and then probably move on to the Washington Opera House, and then probably move on to the Metropolitan Opera House, and then move out of the country and do things all over Europe, stuff like that.
That's cool. Now, aren't you going out of the country this summer?
Yes.
Is it your first time?
Yes.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Spoleto, Italy. I was accepted into the Spoleto Study Abroad summer session in 2014. It's for 4 weeks, so basically a month. And I'm going to be singing classical music while I'm there. and we're going to travel all over Europe.
That sounds so neat. So, do you have any like people who inspire you, whether it be someone famous, someone in your family, your friends? I mean, just anybody.
Well, my biggest inspiration is definitely my mother, and my mother, because she was the first voice I ever heard. She would sing to me when I was a baby. She would sing to me before I could talk. The first thing I knew how to do before I could speak was hum, just listening to her sing. So if it weren't for her, I wouldn't know anything about singing. I wouldn't even know what it is. So I definitely owe that to her. The person that also inspires me is my grandmother, because she built up that passion for me. She told me all her stories about her doing little extras and operas and how much fun it was. And I used to watch her. She has videotapes of her singing, and I would watch it. And I would say, that's cool. I mean, at that time it wasn't for me, so of course I was like, But now I'm like looking back at it, I'm like, if it weren't for her doing that, I definitely would not love it the way I do. And my biggest like opera singer classical singer that I guess could be my inspiration is Leontine Price, because while listening and watching her, she comes from something that she came from almost nothing and built herself up to be one of the biggest superstars ever. So I feel like if she can do it, I can do it.
Of course, and we should always follow you. Okay, so of course, our series is called Killing the Stereotype, and I think that you definitely fall into that category. It's not often that you meet a young African American woman who wants to be an opera singer, and I just think that's so wonderful. So with that being said, have you like received any like criticism, like negative criticism or anything like that?
Yeah, it's popped up a couple of times from my peers at school. Actually the majority of the vocal program in my school is made up of African American kids. But when we go to places like last summer, singing at opera camp, being around people, and they don't know that that's what we're singing, and then they find out that's what we sing. Some people would say, is that what you're doing? Oh, that's what you're doing? Like, really? I'm like, yeah.
Like surprise.
That's what I do. And then some of my friends would be like, oh, you want to do that? I can't do that. That's boring. That's boring. Why do you do that? And I would say, well, you're entitled to your opinion, but that's what I love to do. I don't tell you how to live.
Right. Right. And so since you're definitely going against the grain, everyone thinks African American woman, oh, she's gonna sing R&B, oh, she's gonna do rap or what have you. Do you have any words of advice to any other people out there, whether they're your peers, younger people, older people who want to do something that everyone might not agree upon based on like their skin color or where their location or whatever? Do you have any words to anybody, like words of inspiration?
Well, what I can definitely say is that people are going to talk about you regardless of what you're doing. Whether you're doing things that are good, whether you're doing things that are bad. And you can't control what people do, but you can control what you do back. So instead of letting things bring you down, life's too short. You need to do things that make you happy. Who cares what everybody else thinks?
Right. That's neat. Okay, and I'm just going to throw this in. Are you like newly natural or something? Or what's up with that? What's the buzz in the natural in the natural news?
Well, yes, I've just started. I'm trying to go natural. I want to go natural. I'm transitioning, just chopping gradually, letting it grow out. But I'm definitely excited to see where it goes, and hopefully everything turns out great.
That's great. Okay, well, you have definitely defined what I call an Indigenous impression. I mean, you've definitely left an impression on me, and we're just so excited to see the more greatness that you have planned for the future. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right.